Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Firefly Aerospace. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I'll most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. And in the case of this chart, we have a somewhat interesting structure going on in this area, because while we don't have a clear 5-wave move to the downside, one could actually still be forming. Now, in such an interpretation, I would be tracking this initial movement from the all-time high as a wave 1. We would have here a wave 2 top, a third wave down, and then a fourth wave that honestly could have even actually already topped. Now, within this interpretation, we would like to see still a larger ABC structure within the wave 5 to have a full pattern within this area. And in case it's not already clear, we are tracking overall a larger diagonal structure here because, yeah, clearly this wave 3 has not managed to form a more clear impulse to the downside, and we have managed to retrace high enough within this wave 4 that a more direct extension within this movement to the downside within the wave 3 is not really a realistic expectation. Sure, something like a 1-2 setup could still work out, but it's not a high priority or high probability scenario for me right now, and in that case we are tracking this as a wave 4. And in such an interpretation, what we would need to see broken, what level we would need to see broken for a signal that this structure is most likely not going to play out would be here the 61.8% retracement for a wave 4. And yeah, the overall area of resistance is between the $20.9 all the way up to the $32 level at the 61.8% retracement, where so far we have only gotten to the 50% retracement, so we still have some room. There is still some potential upside to be had even within this wave 4. And since we have a pretty clear structure available within an ABC movement to the upside within this area, yeah, it is possible that it has already topped and that the fifth wave is already ongoing, but right now we don't have a clear 5-wave move in either direction and we still need to be prepared, and we even have the possibility of tracking a potential larger structure to the upside, because realistically this could have also been a larger pattern in something like a WXY that could be complete, that wouldn't need any additional lows and could allow a larger uptrend to be forming, in which case we can track here an internal leading diagonal to the upside where we have a couple of options. So my preferred interpretation considers that this is a wave 1 up, we have here a wave 2 down, and we would still have to see some movement within a wave 3. Now, in this scenario, we would expect an ABC movement to be formed where the wave A is complete. We are looking still for lower prices within the wave B, and then a wave C that would be expected to take us here to the ideal target of the overall wave 3, which is the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, yeah, just above the 61.8% retracement of the larger wave 4 correction in yellow at the $32.5 level. Yeah, once that is reached, we would have achieved the ideal target for the wave 3. It would be even an expectation in such a weak pattern overall. And while a failure to do so would pretty much discard this scenario, this interpretation, something else could actually still work out. So on this chart, I could even see something like a 1-2 having formed this structure here. Yeah, the wave 1 top here and the wave 2 bottom here. And then this would have been an ABC structure within an already complete wave 3. And then if we get an ABC movement in this area, we may be able to still consider that an overall large leading diagonal has been formed. I am open to such an idea, and that is mostly in the end because the areas of support for both interpretations would be very much overlapping. Yeah, most of their area, for example, for the wave 4, for the idea of a 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th, we would have here the area of support between the $25 all the way down to the $20 level, in which case we have so far pushed into the 38.2% retracement. And then for the idea of an AB movement that we are tracking here in white, we would be looking at the levels of support between the $24 all the way down to the $20.4 level. In the end, yeah, quite similar areas of support. Oops, I actually did draw this a bit wrong. Yeah, this would be the actual bottom for the wave 2. But yeah, in the end, very similar areas of support. The 78.6% retracement would basically overlap with the 61.8% retracement. And yeah, we would have already reached both levels. And in the end, it doesn't really affect the scenario that would allow us to track continuation higher. And for those reasons, I do still prefer to track this idea of an ABC movement, at least for now. And with that said, we can move here into the even smaller time frame, where in the wave B, I would like to form a bottom sooner rather than later. Yeah, always, why not? But the structure isn't necessarily as simple, because here we may have an initial 5-wave move to the downside. This could be a wave A. We would have here a wave B top, but then we would expect a 5-wave move to the downside within the wave C. Well, in that case, I would be tracking here an impulse. Whoops, I meant to add the wave A bottom here, and then I would be tracking here an impulse ideally to be forming within the wave C, in which case I would expect a 5-wave move to actually unfold here within an internal wave 5. Now I want to be changing some degrees here, but the main idea remains the same. Here we would like to see still a 5-wave move to occur to the downside within this area, where, well, technically we could already see a bottom, an early bottom within this correction. I would still prefer lower prices, especially as within this push to the upside we have already retraced afterwards nearly a 100% from the bottom, yeah, from the beginning of this potential larger uptrend. And yeah, right now I would be probably considering this to be something like a 1-2 and a third wave that would be ongoing right now. Yeah, I would probably expect even a push into the 61.8% retracement, if not below, overall within this 50 to the downside, as with the initial movement down we already have a quite substantial push. Now I don't necessarily recommend to be tracking this too much internally, because other accounts can always work out within such small time frame scenarios, and I would generally urge you to focus on the area of support and maybe some structural support levels that we can find along the way, if any, because yeah, within this area there isn't much to be going on. Maybe around here the $21 level, the 20.5 to $21 level, around that area could be interesting, but in the end, yeah, don't focus too much on the exact count. We have here the area of support, although this is not a high probability trade setup. What we want to see is the initial 5-wave move to the upside that would be formed. Once that is done, we can have a trade setup, but until such is the case, until we form either the pattern within this structure in a 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th, or the other scenario, the 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th, I will not be looking for a trade setup. I'm only tracking these levels, as a break below the 78.6% retracement at $20.4 level would signify a high probability push into a more direct 5th wave in the yellow scenario, and if not that, at least a larger correction within a possible extension within this wave 4, a possible completely different pattern, but nothing that would be a reliability to be actually looking for a position into. Yeah, we would be stuck actually tracking internal structures on a very small time frame for a potential nano 5-wave move to the upside within this area, which again would not be a reliable trade setup, and that would not even be due to the structure, but due to the actual time frame where the structures are just not as reliable. Yeah. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.